and now American officials security officials and now American officials too have confirmed to various outlets, including CNN, Axios, that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed in this morning's US-Israeli strikes on Tehran and other strategic cities. Apparently, as his body was being retrieved from the rubble, there's a photograph of him that was shown to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and President Trump has also confirmed that he believes the reports are in fact correct. A senior US defense official also told Fox News the United States agrees with Israel's assessment. Now, he was killed along with 5 to 10 other top Iranian leaders who were gathered at a compound. Also confirmed dead, Ali Shamkhani, the secretary of Iran's National Security Council, and Defense Minister Aziz Nazirzadeh. Trump also said he's hearing that many members of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the country's basic military force, and other security and police forces are saying that they no longer want to fight on for the Iranian regime and are seeking immunity from the United States. And Iran is denying all of this. They're saying that state media is still confirming that Khamenei is steadfast in his command. Earlier on, we also had the foreign minister of Iran declare that he and all his senior members were alive and well.
I know, yes, they are alive. And the head of judiciary as well, the head of the Speaker of Parliament as well, all high-ranking officials are alive. And the secretary of the National Security Council. So everybody is now in its position, and we are handling this situation and everything is fine.
Doesn't seem like everything is actually fine at all in Iran right now. The operation was called Epic Fury and launched in broad daylight. That was another big differentiator. Normally, these things take place at night. It's easier to hide your aircraft as you're flying through the skies. But they decided to do this particular attack on the Supreme Leader's palace compound in Tehran's Pasteur district. 7 missiles struck the district housing, residence, as well as the presidential palace. And what's really interesting here is that the Israelis had intelligence that, and his senior members of the military were going to be at a meeting at 8:15 in the morning. And that is why this was a daylight strike, because they knew they would all be gathered in one place as they were reviewing, along with the National Security Council, what was to come. The attacks on Iran, which was so high in everyone's mind at that meeting, were the ones that obliterated and his senior staff. Over 500 targets hit across Iran by roughly 200 Israeli fighter jets. There were also explosions reported in Tehran, and Loristan. I hope I'm not doing a terrible job butchering those names. Over 200 dead in Iran, 747 injured, according to Iran's Red Crescent. Now, Iran has already retaliated. There are now, every 30 or 40 minutes, missiles are striking Tel Aviv in Israel. There have also been multiple attacks on all the US bases dotted along the Middle East. We'll show you some pictures of Dubai. What this looks like tonight is quite stunning for a country that is really praised for being very peaceful. But the rockets came falling out of the sky into Dubai. Quite a scene happening in various parts of the Middle East. You can see a very similar scene as many as 14 American military bases have been struck this evening. Now, none have been too successful. There has been an attack in Israel, which claimed one life that was able to get around the Golden Dome. That involved killing at least one woman and injuring many others as it hit an apartment building. But that is so far only casualty from the Israeli side. Let us also tell you exactly what the president said this morning.
Courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future. And it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
Indeed, that's his promise. We don't know if it in fact is true because we don't know what will happen next. And that is the thing which has got everybody worried at this moment. There really is no indication yet of how this thing will roll out. And by this thing, I mean the regime change. One final note here from Donald Trump as he appeared last night at a party in Mar-a-Lago, just as all of this was happening. Let's take a look at what he was up to there.
You gotta go work.
I'm having to work.
Yes, you do, sir. You are the president of the United States. And that is the news today as it's developing out of the Middle East. The Ayatollah Ali is believed to have been killed in this morning's US and Israeli raids on Tehran. This is a fundamental difference and challenge now facing the Iranian people as they try to figure out what they do next with this huge change in their leadership. He's been around since the 80s, firstly as a prime minister, but now in the 90s became the supreme leader and has stayed there ever since. He has complete control of the military, of the economy, almost 68% of the population with him. It does leave only 30% in favor. Now that is not far off from where Donald Trump is. So it's certainly interesting to see that someone with a 30% approval rating can be knocked off by an enemy country just because, which is really what happened here. That is the news from Narrative tonight. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow with more news updates as they happen. Have a great night, everybody.